love. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about left-hand pizzicato. Left-hand pizzicato is a technique that gets kind of neglected until way later in the violin journey, and at that point it's kind of something you needed to have learned earlier, if that makes sense. One of the books that I absolutely love to use to teach from is Barbara Barber's Solos for Young Violinists, and she immediately introduces violinists to left-hand pizzicato at the beginning of their violin journey with a beautiful piece called The Puppet Show, and it has a little bit of left-hand pizzicato in there. Today I've created an exercise for you to help you practice your left-hand pizzicato because it is such a neglected technique. It's a very simple exercise, but very difficult to do. Okay, so let's get started. Now this exercise will be for all levels, for beginners, for newbies, beginners, intermediate, and advanced. It's an exercise that can stay with you in your violin journey, one that you can pull out all the time, no matter where you are in your violin journey, okay? So it's kind of funny I have my bow in this video, but I'm not going to be using it at all. All right, so we're just going to get started here on the open E string. And just go ahead and use your fourth finger and pluck. Okay, and then your third finger. Second. And first. Okay, you want to feel like you're kind of ripping the string off the violin. You want them to be very strong. And you use the inside corner of your finger. Okay? And the first finger has, many violinists have calluses on their fingers actually. And the more callus you have, the easier it's going to be to pizzicato. So that's the easy part. That's just plucking the open string. And you can go ahead and explore that in all the strings. You're going to find that it gets a little bit more difficult in some cases when you go to the D or the G string, okay? All right, so that's the easy part. That's the very easy part where you're just plucking the opens, okay? Now, the next part is let's start working with the first finger. Okay, in the exercise of the week, what I did is I just started off with a low one with F natural, and then have you pizzing with each finger with that low one. Then go up to an F sharp and do the same. 4, 3, 2, okay, and then your G. Okay, and you want these all to be really loud, and I'm just doing them very quickly as far as the demonstration, but you want to do them slow, and like I said, really feel like you're ripping the string off the violin. Now this one we'll do only with a 4, and you want it to be as loud as possible. So you want to practice it slowly, you know, get that as loud as you can. And then the one that's the most difficult, and the most difficult for all violinists, is that high 3 with a 4, because of the hand, you know, the strength of the 4, it has to be really pretty strong to pitch next to that high 3, because the half step makes it a challenge, okay? So that's the exercise of the week. Start off on the E string and go ahead and do the same exercise on the A and on the D. You're going to find that it's going to be quite a bit more challenging because now you have to actually clear the E string when you're pitzing on the A, okay? Now, as you see, when I pitch on the A, I bring my elbow under really to help out. Okay, and I do bring my wrist in just a little bit. Actually, it's not even that I bring my wrist in. When my elbow comes under, the wrist just goes closer to the violin there, okay? So left-hand pizzicato is something that's going to take time to develop. It's not going to be something that's going to happen overnight, and it's going to take a lot of practice. Now, with your practice though, you don't want to practice it too much because you can cause some problems. If you sit here and practice your left-hand pizzicato for like an hour, you know, you can cause some problems with your tendons, and obviously you can develop even blood blisters on your fingers from doing pits too much. Okay, so you don't want to go to that extreme. But have fun with it. This is just the beginning. The exercise is just a very simple exercise. It's not any complicated finger combinations with the left-hand pizzicato, okay? So this is just like a beginner introduction to left-hand pizzicato, but it is still very challenging, okay? So enjoy. And without further ado, I wish everybody a beautiful, blessed week full of magic, love, and light. And until I see you again in next week's episode, be true, be you, B. Ciao for now!